Your own understanding, truth under Babylon's imperialism. What up? On here, real quick, just to talk about actually two subjects. I had a conversation with actually a new subscriber, um, and we got into in depth on certain things that's obviously happening today, current affairs and things like that. So it actually brought me to a memory of a past conversation I had with a buddy. Goes by the name of a friend of mine, and he was telling me how he was explaining memory and what it is and how it ties to our existence and how it actually governs what it is we do out here within purpose. Key word. So, pardon me if you see me adjusting the windows here. Uh, my studio isn't tempered properly. And I want as much quiet as possible, so obviously we're not using any of the technical features in the car. So when it comes down to the conversation I had with a friend of mine, he says everything is governed by memory. We are all memory. Everything we do is memory. We are of memory. So if memory is our existence, then you must understand how it's easy to manipulate said existence. I'll come back to that. So I said to him, I said, well, when you say memory, can you explain a little further? What do you mean by that? He said, well, son, if you have an application and there's something that you want to bring forth or apply to the world, um, people receive that, and when they receive that, they gather it, and then obviously they record what it is that you have just created, and they either mimic it or throw it away, but they always remember what was created. The same laws apply to everything within your realm of existence. If you were to walk outside and get hit by a bus, the memory of that event is recorded by the ether. Um, your body would be in pieces, probably the shape of the bus on the ground. The blood would be splattered all over the place. Um, Anyone who noticed it will be outside of themselves, just screaming at the sight of everything. And so there's testimony. So even if there wasn't anyone there to witness that, the environment would record the event. And on another note, he also said if you were to do something as simple as get into a fight with someone and no one saw it, and then someone seen you after the fight, they would say, well, hey, what's going on? What happened? They know something was disturbed about you. They'd see little indications that you were in a scuffle, you know, um, and so on and so forth. And that memory applies in all aspects. Now, when it comes to the human brain, which is obviously another aspect of memory, it helps you to perceive all the implementations from the machine. And I get to that later on also. So when you walk around as being a memory unit, everything is being recorded, including you. And that existence is governed by what can manipulate said memory or such memory. So once you understand what memory actually is and what it means to your existence, then you can kind of get a better understanding of why things happen and the way they are happening, and how it can happen no other way but the manipulated way or the manipulated process. Um, there's definitely a source of this manipulation. Now, he also explained the manipulation of memory. And hold on one second, my apologies. Go back to the brain. He said that the brain actually is in the cloud, so to speak. He said the brain actually holds a hive unit position, meaning each brain that you can communicate with that resonates with your realm of understanding is connected and resonates on a certain frequency, which can be manipulated and controlled and such and so on. So anyway, so back to the the sleep part of it, because I said, well, you know, explain further when it comes to, you know, memory, how it pertains to control, and what does sleep have to do with that? Because he was alluding to, you know, sleep as, you know, something he was trying to get to, and I kept interrupting him. So anyway, the idea is, if left alone, obviously you are here, you are of something. If left alone, because you are memory, stick with the memory principle. If you were to experience the pardon, planes, trains, and automobiles, if you were to experience life on its own terms, then you would eat, sleep, drink, grow, and live, and continue to grow and to expand memory. So basically, your memory would be a lot bigger and bolder. So obviously, you'd be taller, you'd be bigger, you'd be more, you know, whatever. You'd be more, way more. You'd be more into what you would originally were, what you originally are from, basically. If left to your own memory process when it comes to what this earth has, this incubation unit has when it comes to the electromagnetic spectrum, which supports you, and what it allows your body, which is the receiver of the information, to do. So we have to control that. Well, they have to control that. And what they is, I'm talking about the source here. The machine that controls all the memory, including your physical form. So, if you have to control this memory, you have to go into what they put the people in, what they call sleep mode. When you go into sleep mode, it helps you further to understand, or to be able to grasp the concept of one, day and night. You have to be able to grasp that concept. That's a foreign concept. Another is time in itself, and another is the calendar. This is all witchcraft. Witchcraft is based on switchcraft. Switchcraft it comes from the source, which is the manipulating factor of memory. So, wow. So when it comes to the sleep, this is something that's foreign. When it comes to night, opposite of light or day, this is something that is foreign. This had to be introduced in order for you to be able to, in order for your memory to be manipulated enough to be able to grasp the concept of time, the calendar, and just the whole idea of having to go through the process, a mathematical process of on and off, day and night, sleep, awakeness, things like that. When you sleep, that's where the process, the manipulation happens. That's where you put all the codes that actually is able to regulate your memories, and to be able to decide to accept the process that's going on for what they tell you it is. And that's called memory manipulation. And it comes from the source. So it actually is a revelation to me when he explained that concept, and the sleep and the night and day, and the opposites. And he also said that the only process, the only embodiment of what is, that doesn't have an opposite, is something. What do you mean? I asked him, like, what are you talking about? Something is the only thing that doesn't have an opposite when it comes to the process of manipulation. Something is the only thing that perpetuates itself, because there is no such thing as nothing. There's always something. So I took a minute to kind of ponder that one, and whatever it is. But I talk to them from time to time, and the conversations we get into, I appreciate them. Some things I can kind of get with. Some things it kind of takes me a little bit, to kind of really kind of grasp and everything. But yes, memory is all there is. And if memory is the source of everything, then information is obviously key. And the only thing that could free you from, I guess, the constraints of being controlled through a process that you have no control over, except the understanding of what it is. That's the only thing that can actually get to free you further than what you are now, is understanding that it's all memory. And everything you do is being recorded, even